Well, hello. Almost happy New Year to YouTube. I don't have a big presence on a following subscriber list on YouTube. My guess is, and I've never done this, I think I've done this once. Subscribers will be notified that I'm live, so that might get a few people over here. I've also shared this on my Facebook group and stuff like that. So, um, welcome. Let's give a minute here. See if anybody comes around. I don't know. What I do know is that this will be recorded, or this will be forever on the page, so it'll be there. So even if we don't get any viewers, it'll the content will be there, and hopefully the education will be there. First, let me start off by saying to everyone, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. It's a good one. It was nice for me. I've been really busy, but I was able to shut down and just be with the family. So it really had nice weather. I know a lot of people had some really bad weather, some really cold weather. In Virginia, where I live, we had a, I don't know, 75, almost 80 one day. Um, this is the week between Christmas and New Year's. We're recording this live on the 29th at 8:07. So it's December 29th of 2021 at 8:07 Eastern Time. And I want to start by saying that here, as we end the year, even all of 2021, but especially here at the end, we are, myself and my team, Toby and I, are just pushing content on all of our channels. Now, I will tell you the metrics and the metrics and the proof show. Oh, hold on a second, someone's messaging. Hold that thought. I thought someone was sending me a message, but it was something else. The proof is in. You got to be seen all the time, and this is you, is that my clients, my friends, my colleagues are generally in the, well, let's just say small business, the home services industry. I don't care what you do. If you're in the home services industry, you might not put a whole lot of emphasis on your public and your digital social media. You should, because that's where it's at right now. That's where it's happening. And hold on a second. Let's see, getting some messages here. See if anybody's. That's where people are at. That's where they're shopping. There's the statistics are staggering of how many people are not only online but doing their shopping through social media channels in a weird way. I mean, lots and lots of sales happen through Instagram, TikTok. It's crazy. Etsy, of course, and some others. And so you know the marketing, and you might have a Facebook page and you throw something up there every once in a while. I mean, some people are much better than others, but I'll tell you, small businesses, be present online, find ways. Don't just talk to your current audience. It's an echo chamber. You're talking to the same 300, 400, 111 people, whatever. You've got to expand that, because that audience, they know who you are. You're just reminding them every day. And you probably don't need to, right? So they don't need your service right now. But if you've done a good job, they will. They will, and they'll remember you when they do. So you gotta go outside of that. You gotta kind of go what they call viral and organic. So it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot, and I don't even have all the answers. It's keywords, and you gotta be found in by searches and get on other people to share your stuff and blah 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 blah. But here's what I do know that you do have control over. You have control over your online reviews. This has been a big deal for years. I don't personally see any um, data that says otherwise, that it's going to be going away. But your online service reputation, it's critical that it be validated by the public. Amazon has created this ecosystem where if others don't say great things, it might not be great. But that's not all there is to it. So if you are in a market where you have 11, 17, even 30 online reviews, but 3 or 4 or more of your competitors have 75, 100 more, and they're paying for ads, guess what? You're not coming up to be found there. And what you're doing, you're forcing yourself to pay more to acquire clients through your digital marketing spend, your lead generation services, and paying plumbers. And it's not how you grow a business. I'm writing a really big course right now, a program that'll be available online for everybody of how you have got to manage so many parts of your business, the cash flow. But part of that is your marketing. Your cost of acquisition has got to be commensurate and in proportion to what the profits are that you have, because you're probably not charging enough for what you do, and you're getting paid. If you're in my industry, the restoration insurance related industry, you're not getting paid on time, so your cash flow sucks. So what I want to get at is you have control over obtaining positive online feedback and reviews. Um, I get a lot of excuses why it doesn't happen, but I would tell you none of them are good enough because others are doing it well. So let me go ahead and talk about the objections that you might have. Not everyone has a Gmail. Older people don't work off of these devices. These are all valid, but there's ways to overcome them. My texts don't ask for them. We're lucky to even get them to do the moisture readings or do daily notes or take pictures. I couldn't even imagine. Blah blah. Stop. If you don't have a team that can do what needs to be done to make your plane fly, to make your operation resoundingly incredible, you've got the wrong people. You need to build a system that finds the right people that can do the right thing and get your reviews. Now, this is going to be the hard part. I never mean, I'm just a real straightforward person. I never mean this to sound rude, but I'm just blunt because it's what people need to hear. I don't have any problem telling people when they're doing great. I've been doing intentionally, I've been working on this marketing platform thing of myself. And I sat tonight and looked up 12 of my very good friends, people that I call good restorers, peers, good people that have all their certs, who follow and abide by every single standard, industry standard, law, by OSHA, just so many different things. They really have it dialed in. They got a great culture at their team, their company. They're growing. Most of them have had really good positive growth over the last couple of years. But I look online, and there's about 11 of them. Their reviews, some of them were low teens. They've been open for years. Now, this is on Google. Some people may say, oh, well, Facebook, I get a lot more reviews. Maybe so. But Google carries a lot of weight for you being found. More people in the world use Google than anything else. So that's really where you need to be putting a bulk of your attention. But if I look up online and you have 13, 17, been open for 4 years, I'm willing to bet if you're doing over $1 million, you're probably doing 100 to 200 claims a year. You've got all those people you should have gotten a review from. You should have a system in place where 2 weeks after you did a job and they haven't left a review and you don't see it on your list of reviews, someone calls them back, follows them up, reminds them. Listen, they're busy like you are. Their attention span is this big. Call them back and nurture. Make it easy. Say, I'm going to send you a text. It'll take you 4 minutes. You don't want to. You don't want to tell your customer. You don't have to paint rainbows and say what didn't happen. Just but if you got something nice to say, it would mean an awful lot. You could do that, and your text could do that. You can incentivize them. It's not the best way in the world to pay them for what they're already supposed to be doing. The right people will do that because that's what your company needs. If they don't, you've got to ask yourself, are they the right people? But you've got others in your market that have dozens or more. And in some of these cases, I would say at least three, I know who some of the competitors are. And they don't do good work, but they have tons of reviews. So they don't focus on the quality and the customer service, but they definitely get a lot of reviews. They get customers because the truth is a customer doesn't really compared to what you were good compared to what they expected. You helped their house get dry or clean from a fire. They loved it. You were their hero. You got a review. It's great. I'm not diminishing it, but it's almost like politicians. They can really do a lot of propaganda and ads and marketing to make themselves sound like good people. But when you are faced with a potential client who might need a mold remediation, this is probably less emergency services and more like mold and some of those longer term, especially in reconstruction and stuff like that. But they take a look at you or looking through your service type online, and you've got a fraction or a small percent of what the others do, especially if they're a big name franchise, then you're really kind of behind the eight ball. But alternatively, well, before I go there, I just want to tell you these 11 people, good operators, do good work, are not maximizing. And if you ask them, if I were to have a roundtable with them, they would probably say, yeah, it's not something we do real well. So this is my call to action. Let's do better next year. Let me tell you about a couple of people that I do know, and some of them clients and some not. Got a client that we've been working together 2 years, and this is more to do with them and what they've had. What I do is help create a company with systems where they get the freedom and the time and the headspace to do what they already knew how to do. Their company was so running around like crazy, the chicken with their head cut off. And that's a real thing, by the way. Chickens do run around with their heads cut off. But once I cleared out some of that and gave them space and driven processes that their company kind of ran on autopilot, they turned up the marketing, turned up the energy. When we first started working together, they were right at a little under 2 million, maybe. Grew the next year. This past year, this 2021, our flew out. Our collective goal was 3.75 million. The owner is off this week. He takes off the last week of the year. He takes off several weeks of the year. He's barely involved with. I won't say barely. He's not on every job. He's not there every single day. They're at $5 million. They are their state's highest reviewed company. Over 290 reviews. Because the truth is some of them fall off. Google does some weird things and some things fall off and they get shifted all around. The newest ones don't show up. I don't know what the algorithms are, but they've been in business a long time and they've got a lot. And they can do better, but they one of their KPIs is 8%, 65, I think it is 60% of claims need to have a review on them when they finish. That's the goal. That leaves in for the ones that don't have Gmail, the ones that are older people, whatever. But for 60%, they're getting reviews from them. And he said, they don't, and there's a KPI, which means they measure it. And weekly they have a meeting and they look, or weekly or monthly, they have the meeting about that number and look at it and say, well, we were below that margin. Why was that? Let's look at the ones we didn't get. We were super busy and we just didn't ask. But that could put them over 300. By the way, They are 140 over anybody else in the whole state, not only just their little city. And they put it all over their advertising. It's on their website, it's on their social media, it's on all their flyers, it's on their signatures, on their emails. Blank states highest rated disaster restoration contractor. Lots of trucks on the road now because of the volume. Everybody has a brand new truck, really good brand, really good marketing. So focus on that for your marketing. More work comes in now from people seeing their trucks, seeing their advertising, seeing their social media, which thousands of followers. They play games, spot our truck, get a free prime rib, blah blah blah, tickets to a sporting event. Um, just tons of different. There's some email direct marketing, great, great relationships with some plumbers. No referrals fees. Plumbers want to work with the best in town to help them look good. The owners want to work. The owners of plumbing companies want to work with the best one. So they have a lot of reviews. It's paying off in a big way. So 2022, do better. There are apps that help you do it. Look into them. Don't ask how much they are because they're all over the board and they cost something. And the better ones probably cost more and they're worth it because the dividends you'll get from doing it you got to pay to play. You got to spend to make. That's just it. That's what scaling is. Once you figure out the scaling formula and you figure out if I spend this much, I make this much, and it's almost on autopilot, your question will be like, how much can I spend to make more? That's what it's about. It takes money to make it. And I understand when it's early, you don't need a big, heavy process when you're brand new and just starting your company. But if you know you're going to get there. But some of these services cost, I don't know, 40, 50, 75 bucks a month maybe. But they're automated. As soon as you finish, it goes to the client and it keeps going to them. It kind of nudges them in a non-bothersome way. And at some point you get to call the customer and say, hey, I don't know if you're getting our reviews, but it really, because you told them this in the beginning, you told your customer in the beginning in the onboarding, the all impressive and all incredibly powerful onboarding, you advised your customer that you were going to be working for a 5-star review. You're going to put yourself on the spot and say, I want to make a 5-star review because that's what makes us keep going. That's what helps us help more people. The reviews help us online. People can find us. People can trust us. We save them from a fire. We save them. We help them get back in their house with their most trusted belongings. We have contents. We do pack outs and construction. We can't help people if we don't have good reviews because people, that's how they vote now. It doesn't matter what you say about yourself. It's what others say. It's just the world we live in. They're important. So make this a priority. I mean, you probably have 100 other things to do, but make sure this is one of them. That's what all I wanted to do this video is about is do better next year. Those 11 that I kind of did a little secret review on, I'm going to talk to them and let them know. They're my friends. They're not clients. I'm going to give them some tips on how to do that. We might have a roundtable. We might have a live video like this and talk about ways to do that. They may say, hey, we know all this stuff. We just aren't doing it. So then you got to ask the question. And this is what I'm going to ask you before I sign off on 18 minutes. If you know what to do and you're not doing it, I've got to ask you the question about what's getting in your way. What are you doing that's stopping you from doing this? Hopefully it's something else that's contributing to the business. Listen, it's not work all the time. But if you are having difficulties and struggles with your business and being cash flow and leads consistent and finding people, your business requires you at this point to work on it a lot. And then when you get those things solved and figured out and your profit margin's greater, you hire more people to do that for you. You just oversee those people and you work a little bit less and a little bit less and a little bit less. And then you get to go do what you love to do, to live your life. You did not start your business to have another job. You started your business to have a life, to spend more time with your family, with your parents, do more charitable work, play more golf, learn to play the guitar. I'm learning to fly an airplane next year. I'm working towards that. My goal is to learn to fly, start taking private pilot lessons. But a lot of stuff has to happen for me to get there. But that's what I want my life to look like. And I'm in control of it. You're in control of your reviews. I hope this video um, jostled some things in you. Like I said, I didn't give you any earth-shattering things, but I think that I'm reminding you how important it is, because we get so busy with a lot of important things, and we know how important this is, but it just falls down the list of priorities. And I just say, put it back on there. Build a scorecard. That's when I was talking about KPIs, key performance indicators. It's literally a list of measurables. I can help you put one together. Reach out to me at Clark at restorationadvisors.com, and we can work on that together. But your KPIs, the things you want to do, they're out there. You just need a process for them to get done, and then to measure when they're off. So we got one viewer. Whoever you are watching, thank you. We have one viewer come in. So listen, you know what this is? This is the early days. Have you ever seen the stories and heard about, I don't know if you listen to Joe Rogan. There's a video that goes around the internet showing Joe Rogan's first podcast. It was him, horrible camera setup and microphone setup, and he's just sitting in a room in front of a microphone. I do a podcast, and I feel much like that right now. Coca-Cola sold 24 cans of Coke their first 2 or 3 years in business. Colonel Sanders didn't start Kentucky Fried Chicken until he was 65. Don't worry. I'm in my office in my house with quasi decent lighting in this. Look, that's a big background. See that background? That's a piece of fabric. So listen, build your business, get freedom, do good work. But I promise you'll do better work when you are not tied to the 24/7 grind. You will. You will enjoy it better. You will fall back in love with it. And it's great. So anyway, it's YouTube Live. Woo! December 29th, getting ready to close out the year. Happy New Year to you. And we might do this more next year. I might learn what I can do to make this better. Maybe you've got a comment that you can leave and tell me, Clark, I hated it. But you should check out our podcast. I'm sorry, I'm putting something down. You should check out our podcast. That doesn't suck. That is good. Disaster Podcaster. It's on our website, Restoration Advisors. You can find it in your favorite Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Disaster Podcaster. It's fun. Last week, we started something new that might become more common, or maybe every time. We took live callers. We streamed live into our Facebook group. Had a lot of viewers, and we took live callers, and it was fun. So that may become something we do more of. So other than that, cheerio, have a good one, and Happy New Year. And if you can need anything from us, reach out to us at restorationadvisors.com. Get on our calendar. Let's have a call. See if there's anything we can do to help you put that old evil hard stuff behind you and start having some success and do what you kind of started your business to do and fall in love with it. All right, bud. Cheerios.